I understand why you are here. My darling kid, I understand why your heart is racing and why your mind keeps returning to the things you're afraid to ask aloud. You have been bearing more weight than your shoulders were designed to support. You've attempted to keep bits of a life that sometimes seems to be falling apart together by striking a balance between sadness and optimism. I hear the quiet screams that were never put into words, and I see the silent terrors that no one else has seen. You are someone I know. I can feel the precise weight on your chest tonight, since I know you so well, and I tell you this, with love that is stronger than fire, not with resentment or disappointment. I do not want you to spend another day in shackles. I've already broken them. I am the Lord who died in your place. I am Jesus who extended his arms to allow your hands to finally relax. Freedom, not simply survival, is what I pledged. But here's the reality you've been struggling with. You're afraid of letting go. Giving up control is like stepping out onto nothing and falling. What if all is lost? What happens if you give up and nothing remains except emptiness? That constriction of your chest, that terror is a conflict between my invitation and your own hold. You've been taught that control is a sign of strength, but faith is the real strength. Kate, tonight I want you to hear me clearly. Release is the beginning, not the conclusion. You fall into my arms rather than into darkness. When you let go of what you cannot carry, mend or control, and there is no loss in my arms. All that exists is life, tranquility, and the start of something bigger than your mind can contain. Even if you cannot see them, the angels are still all around you and are only waiting for you to give up. They see your struggles, lean in close, and are prepared to help as soon as you let go. Heaven is not quiet, you're not alone yourself. My kingdom is closer than the air in your lungs, and it is not far away. But listen to me honestly. Your spirit will be restless as long as you strive for control and keep your fists clenched around things I never asked you to hold. Your prayers will be burdened. It will seem like your future is at jeopardy. I don't blame you for this conflict. I had the same strain. When I walked into Gethsemane's garden, I understand the struggle to balance fear with surrender. I am kneeling next to you and breathing bravery into your soul because I am not far away from passing judgment on you. My child, walk boldly in faith and love with your super Thanksgiving $2. Let the truth of my word reach those who long for the light. Join me in this divine mission to heal and uplift. Click on the Super Thanksgiving button and be enveloped in my grace now, and listen to this message further. Yes, I am aware of the hurt your relationships have caused you. I am aware that some individuals you trusted would always be there, abandoned you when you most needed them. I am aware of the rejection, the stillness, and the betrayal. When you lay awake at night, These wounds still hurt, and I know you're wondering, Jesus, how can I trust once more? When my heart broke the final time, how can I mend it? Listen, kid, I'm not asking that you prioritize trusting others. I'm requesting that you trust me. Your heart will no longer be reliant on the flimsy assurances of others once you put your confidence in me. If that is what I have decreed, I will send the right people, the right connections, the right covenant friendships, and even the right spouse. However, I need that you let go of the ghosts of what was damaged. Let go of your frantic hold on things that aren't meant to be, because your hands will be too full to accept the promise of tomorrow. If you continue to hold on to the pieces of yesterday, the adversary has attempted to persuade you that surrendering would result in failure, because giving up is a sign of weakness, that you will lose your identity, value, and position in this world if you let go. However, I can assure you that his statements are false, because he is aware of what is beyond. He fears your surrender. He is aware that his hold will be permanently shattered once you release it and fall into my arms. He is aware of the strength of a youngster who has really put all of their confidence in me. Let me reiterate, letting go does not mean the end. It's the door, and I'm standing there at that door, rapping on the core of your being. Angels with keys you cannot yet see are waiting at the door of your future. They are prepared to open doors you believed were locked, chances you believed were lost, and healing you believed was unattainable. But until you let go of what you were never supposed to control, they won't move. I am aware that dread is whispering to you, what if? What if you find yourself by yourself? What happens if you lose what little remains? What if you don't succeed? However, listen to me. My child, the most important issue is not what if, but rather what waits. Beyond your surrender lies a bountiful existence. Freedom, healing, and regeneration are what lie ahead. The calm that awaits is so profound that it will calm the raging tempest within your chest, as if it were your duty to keep everything together. You have been attempting to carry the future. However, you are not the writer. It is not you who creates your own fate. Yes, I am. Every page was written by me before you ever breathed. Even if you can't read the lines, my handwriting is flawless. Yes, there will be storms. Indeed, relationships may end. Yes, there will be times when you feel like your heart could burst again, or when people leave you. However, I can assure you that I will always be there for you. I will always be there for you. When the night becomes dark, I will never leave, and I will use sadness as soul to grow something bigger. Every time the adversary attempts to exploit it, to kill you. Now type this, Jesus. I give control to your hands. Allow your own words to reverberate in heaven as evidence that you have chosen faith over fear. Today, I'd want you to picture something. Imagine your clenched hands, the ones that have been clinging so tenaciously to regrets, plans, and memories. Consider opening them. Imagine all of your regrets leaking out. Picture all the hefty stones falling away. Do you sense that abrupt void that isn't a loss? Space is that room for me to exude happiness. Room for favors from angels. Healing space flows like water. Your nothingness does not frighten me. Your frailty does not frighten me. I am the Lord who created galaxies out of thin air. Don't you see that? If I can take nothing and make it dazzling, I can also take your submission and make it a better future than you could have ever imagined. However, I won't make you open your hands. I won't yank your fingers off. There is no coercion in love. Love extends an invitation, so I'm inviting you tonight. Enter the river of surrender and see the instantaneous dissolution of the bonds that have encircled your soul. For years, the angels are already singing all around you. They are aware of the consequences when a youngster eventually says yes. They are familiar with the sound of chains dropping to the floor when one's heart chooses faith over fear. They are aware of the pleasure that fills heaven. You've been terrified of the wrong thing, dear, refusing to enter. The life I planned is the only true loss. Even if you have dreaded it, I've already accepted you. Despite your fear of rejection, I am the one who can mend shattered hearts. Yet you have dreaded heartbreak. I am the overflowing fullness. Yet you have dreaded nothingness. I am aware of the path you have ahead of you. Yes, there will be valleys on other days. Relationships will try your tolerance and your spirit, and the night will seem to drag on forever. However, there will also be triumphs you haven't yet thought about. My hand is going to arrange heavenly appointments. Angels will step in to protect you in some situations. My presence will be persistent, unyielding and uncheckable beyond everything else. Before we go any farther, listen to me once again. My child, you were not created for survival on your own. You were created to be free. Peace is what you were created for. You were created to be happy. The sound of your soul yearning for me is what causes the painful hunger in your spirit. It is not a sign of weakness. I'm here too. I'm with you. I promise not to let you down. Enter these words right now. I trust you, Jesus. Allow them to be the key that unlocks the door to what I have in store for you. And I was paying attention to those silent resolves, the ones you kept to yourself. Not only was I listening, but I was also holding them and incorporating even the silent vowels into your identity. You believed that your commitment was weak and just sufficient to get you through another night. However, I recognized its holiness. I saw how, under the pressure of disappointment, your heart continued to beat with optimism. You may not realize it now, but worship was essential to your existence. In the midst of grief, your breath was a testament that reverberated in heaven, more loudly than choirs' melodies. The nights you spent with nothing but questions were not in vain, so do not hate them. The world measures strength, but heaven does not. I see reverence in your trembling, but you see weakness. I see fidelity in your constant return, even when your spirit was weary, but you see failure in your hesitancy, by claiming that you should have been stronger, more faith-filled, or better able to carry it. The adversary has attempted to turn those vulnerable times into a source of guilt. However, I assure you, I have never been turned off by your frailty, dear. It has brought me nearer. I'm close by. Respecting your candor, I'm not far away. Evaluating your bewilderment, I refer to what you term uncertainty, is the birthplace of trust. I refer to the place I have been preparing to fill with myself, is what you term emptiness. The same locations you believed to be deserted are now under the protection of angels. They wait for my word to fortify you and tend to the heart that still pulses with shaky hope, hovering at the verge of your fatigue. You believe that others have keys that you have not, that their path with me is easy, while yours is difficult. However, kid, I gave you genuineness, which is more valuable than comfort. You come to me unvarnished, shaky and genuine you. Don't come with polished phrases or practiced assurance. That's what I want to. Honest souls are what move me, not practiced prayers. Your sincere pain is a scent that reaches heaven, a scent that those who never dared to battle cannot mimic. On some days, you almost persuaded yourself to make a settlement, to set the appetite, to suppress the desire, to somewhat numb oneself in order to cease experiencing the pain of what seems to be unfulfilled. However, do you see? It's not a curse, that pain, that want, that constant throb. It is proof of your faith. The desire itself is your soul's compass, directing it toward me. It is evidence that your purpose was above just survival. I seeded your pain. Therefore, I don't hate it. It is your spirit's homing light, guiding you back to your rightful place. That pain still beckons you when the world is empty, when partnerships break down, and when people's cheers turn to quiet. It also summons you to me. The same pain you are experiencing, my child, is a sign that you are not alone. Thereafter, you people are taking notice of you. Even your inquiries are treasured because of how much you are loved. You have been held, you have not been disregarded. My hands captured every sigh you believed to have disappeared into thin air. Every letdown you believe to be buried has been sown in the ground under my care. Every peaceful evening you believed was squandered has served as a blank canvas on which my presence has painted beauty that you are still unable to see. I don't feel embarrassed by the inquiries you have. I'm not let down by the shadows. You recall, I am the God who anoints weakness with strength, who speaks in the quiet and who moves through shadows. You ask yourself whether you're noticed, and I answer that you are, not for your actions or your outward strength, but rather for who you are to me. I own you, you have been selected. You're being carried. The adversary may try to persuade you that your tail is at a standstill, but to resist, I refer to the pauses you term delays as preparation. I have been laying the foundations in the unanswered prayers. You believed to be silence. What you believe to be absence has really been alignment. I refer to what you termed waiting as weaving threads of a tale so complex that, in hindsight, you will see how my fingerprints were there in every silent moment. The angels sent into your life, my dear, have not become tired. They haven't gone missing. Through all the quiet hours, all the sleepless nights, and all the hidden terrors, they have remained alert. Even now they are waiting for your soul to look up and realize that you are not alone. Breathe, then breathe. Just for this moment. Tonight you don't need to know everything. The world does not need you to keep everything together. You don't need to act as if you don't feel pain in order to demonstrate your faith. All you have to do is allow your honesty to serve as a bridge instead of your performance. Bring me your pain instead of bringing me your practiced assurance. Bring me your doubts instead of the mask. Bring me the fragments. For my dwelling place is hearts, not masks, and I'm not far away. I'm closer than the anguish in your chest, closer than your next breath. Listen carefully, child. Your desire won't end in hopelessness. You won't be left stranded by your inquiries. The pain that has molded you won't be your demise. Rather, it will be the opening for my glory. And for that reason, I still refer to you as myself. I have never looked away from you, despite the fact that you have lived with uncertainties, questions, and grief concealed in the folds of your days. My love is not reliant on your assurance, and my closeness is not brittle. I will always love you, even when the last tear has dried. I loved you before you could even say my name. Do not hate your heart's kindness. Even if it hurts, don't condemn your sensitivity for making you feel strongly. Because I live in that very sensitivity, I refer to it as my reflection. Yet the outside world could label it weakness. Your heart was made to bear my presence. It is not too weak to do so. It was created in order to feel me, to hear me in whispers, and to identify me in the quiet. You don't have to struggle to get my attention. You were already to be selected. You don't have to beg. You were already to stay in my love. You don't have to create strength. You have no idea how closely my love has encircled you. In your vulnerability, I loved you. Even if there were times when faith seemed like a show, I appreciated your candor, even when you questioned why your path appeared more difficult and compared yourself to others. Because your narrative is not yet complete, I kept you breathing even when you wanted to give up. Listen, your future is not in jeopardy. It's safe in my grasp. You weren't destroyed by the relationships you believed to be your demise. The stillness that plagued you won't last indefinitely. You will not be defined by the shadows that attempted to mold you. I'm creating everything from scratch. Yes, there will still be storms. People can still let you down. There may be days when loneliness attempts to return and you feel overextended and tested. However, you won't be by yourself. Angels will walk with you in the regions you cannot see. Inside of you, my spirit will ascend with a calm that withstands all storms. My presence will serve as your shield, compass, and anchor, and I'll bring love back to life. Where you believed it had died, I'll rebuild your trust. When you believed it was irreparably damaged, I shall reintroduce hope into your heart, stronger than before. When you believed it had escaped your grasp, the pain that has accompanied you, my darling, is a reminder that you were created for me, not a curse. And here I am, closer than breath, prepared to fill every void until the pain is turned into happiness. Stop retreating into numbness. Don't be ashamed and keep quiet. Raise your heart and eyes, even if you're shaky or unsure. Because I'm present, I'm not there, I'm not far away. I'm not done yet, you're coming home. This is your comeback. This serves as a reminder that you are still completely loved, fully seen, and fully recognized. You are mine not because of what you do or how flawlessly you believe. Therefore, release the weight from your grasp. Allow the shadows to go. Allow the memories that previously tore you apart to serve as the foundation for new life. Put your faith in me for what you cannot understand. Have faith in me for what you cannot yet see, because I can assure you that the questions won't kill you, the pain won't swallow you, and the quiet won't stay forever. The God who starts things and completes them is me, the Jesus who bore your grief and continues to walk by your side is me, and I am the one who assures you that your tale will conclude in glory rather than hopelessness. Be brave, kid. Have faith, because I will always be at your side till the end of time. Please subscribe to support our channel and turn on bell notification.